our next guest is actually not really able to sit down, but he's small enough to be standing. We have the first, he's coming and he's not able to get up the stairs. Should we help him? He's the first real creature we have up here. We talked about unicorns, but there was none to see. Now we have one. It's Pepper. I think you've seen Pepper before, the friendly robot. Come on, Pepper.
He's waking up. He was still sleeping, but he's going to wake up in a couple of seconds.
Why do I feel like I want to talk to him like I talk to a dog? Give a warm hand to Nicolas Boudot. He's like, what do you call it? You're Pepper's friend? Pepper's chaperone?
I'm Pepper's friend, certainly, but I'm working for the company who has been designing Pepper, and I'm managing the sales in Europe for Aldebaran, really.
Okay, that sounds great. We will hear more about interactions with robots from you the next half an hour.
Yep.
And can we talk to Pepper? Can I ask Pepper questions?
Yeah, if you don't mind, we will finish that, let him wake up, and at the end of my presentation, I will welcome you again on stage, and you will be able to talk to it.
Well, see you in a bit, Pepper. The stage is yours.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll leave him to be ready now, and I will first like to share with you a small presentation about, quickly the value that Pepper can bring on the market that we're targeting today. So, which will be focusing really on how today Pepper can increase the business of retailers. That will be a focus of my presentation. So, I'm losing that. A couple of words, for maybe some of you don't know our company. So, I'm working for Aldebaran. We're today recognized that we are a worldwide leader in terms of humanoid robotics. We sold over 20,000 robots that are in daily operation today. When we say we're the worldwide leader, it's not because we're arrogant, that's just a fact. We easily recognize that Japanese, American are, designing machines that are extremely efficient. The one who are looking at robotic may have seen the latest video from Boston Dynamics about the Alpha robot. That's amazing in terms of technology. The thing is, none of these robots could go to the market today because they're too expensive. At Aldebaran, our DNA is to design robots that could be industrialized and can come to the market today at a effective cost. And that's why we have been able to sell so many robots today. So, the company, who is based in Paris, has been founded about 11 years ago, in 2005. We call ourselves Aldebaranians, so we are around 450 Aldebaranians working around the world. We have offices in the US, in China, and in Japan. And 2 years ago, we have been acquired by SoftBank, so we're now belonging to the SoftBank group. SoftBank is not a bank, it's a mobile operator in Japan. That's in fact the #2 mobile operator in Japan. And they created a subsidiary called SoftBank Robotics to develop a robotic division, and that's really Aldebaran. SoftBank is not the only actor to believe in the future of Pepper and the other robots we do, because you need to know that Foxconn and Alibaba invested more than 200 million in SoftBank Robotics last year, sharing with us the vision we have of the success of a company. So, up to date, we have designed and manufactured and released 3 robots. The first one we start with is now, the small robot that you see here on the right.
Would you like to take a picture with me?
Not yet, Pepper, no. No, thanks.
So disappointing.
Yeah,
We'll take a picture with the robot soon.
we'll take pictures later, Pepper. You want to take pictures of you, so we'll do that later. Now it's a small robot. It's a robot that is, currently used in the academic market. Is basically used for research. Is used to teach computer science, and the aim of the Now robot is at some stage to become a companion at home, companion that will assist your kids in doing their homework. That will be the ultimate interface with other devices at home. So that's the first robot we did design. Then after we designed Romeo. Romeo is the taller robot. It's a robot of 1 meter 40 centimeters. Romeo, it's really a research robot. That's a robot we have been designing for a research project. The aim of that research project is to be able to develop an assistant that will allow us to help to maintain people losing their autonomy at home. So it's basically, we know that's going to be a challenge, and we know that robotic will be part of a solution. So the aim with the Romeo robot is to work with researchers on how can we develop a robot that in your home will be able to bring water to my mother because she doesn't drink enough during the summer, that a robot that will be able to remind her that it's the time for her to take her medicines, and so on. Be quiet, baby. And the last robot we designed is Pepper. Pepper that is on stage here. And Pepper has been specifically designed for SoftBank. SoftBank wanted to have a robot in their stores, and they wanted to have a robot that will welcome their customers, greet them. I will tell you more about how SoftBank is using Pepper in their store later on. What we share here is that all our robots are what we call social robots. They all have been designed to interact with people. That's really the vision of Aldebaran. And basically, it's to be able to make robots that people will be interacting with, we decided to go for the humanoid shape, you know. And that's clearly a choice. That's what makes the, again, that's what is part of the DNA of Aldebaran. It's the humanoid shape. So why a humanoid shape? I mean, it's basically, you will easily understand that that's the best shape to get robot acceptance, you know. You will easily accept a robot that is looking like a human, that is behaving like a human. Also, they're adapted to our environment. I mean, our workspace, our home have been designed for human. Humanoid robots can easily evolve in that environment. What is really interesting with the humanoid shape also is the fact that, you know, there is body language with the robot. And body language is something that is important because that's engaging for the interaction. And that's really what made the success of Aldebaran robot, is the fact that in any of the verticals you may plan to use them, robot will engage interaction with people. He will be proactively waving, calling people to come to see him and to interact with him. And what is extremely interesting with the humanoid shape is, I mean, I don't know if you had a chance to interact with Pepper. If not, you know, I will suggest you come to our booth later. But when you interact with the robot, you will see that there is empathy with the robot. You know, you feel that you want to take care of that machine, and you also think that that machine takes care of you. And why is that? That's because we're working a lot on emotion recognition. I will show you that later, but I mean, our robots are able to understand your emotional mood, and they adapt their behaviors to your mood, okay? I will show you that. I want to quickly show you a short video of, you know, we all find that robot extremely nice and attractive, but I mean, how is it used today? Because I'm telling you that it's used in Japan in many stores. So we don't have any sound. That's just music. Doesn't matter. So it's a brief review of what are the use cases of a robot. You know, we have robots that are greeting people. You know, presenting them what is they will find in the store. Products that are doing. Robots that are doing product recommendation, you know, about is that the right size, the right color for me. Nestle Dolce Gusto is using the robot to do product recommendation. You can guide customers. You can give information about the train, which is what we are doing in France currently. Of course, you will entertain people, and that's how you will create traffic and attract people. You know, that's what the robot is doing in Carrefour, and it's. Just because he's humanoid, just because he has natural body language, people are coming to see the robot. They're keen in discussing with the robot. So what do we do with all of that? I mean, it's, you know, it's not clear for many people on what exactly can we use the robot for in businesses. So, I mean, one way to understand that is, you know, when you go to a place, you know, you may get a kiosk, but you really think you want to talk to a kiosk? You really think you want to have an interaction? You want to have something that has emotion? No, I mean, really what is going to be engaging in the interaction is Pepper. And that's a good value of Pepper, is the fact that you like to talk to Pepper. You don't like really to talk to other devices like screens or phones. So, and challenges that retailers are facing, for example, is, you know, they are facing competition with online e-commerce. And the value of e-commerce, the power of e-commerce is when you do your purchase online, you have access to customer satisfaction. You have access to remarks, recommendation from other customers. Something that doesn't happen in real stores. And that's where Pepper will be able to add value, because Pepper, with all the sensors he has, with all the behaviors he has, is extremely good at getting feedback from the customer. And Pepper is able to know if he's dealing with a man, with a woman, because of the use we make of the cameras. He's able to know the age of the people he's dealing with. He's able to know the mood of a person. Was he happy, surprised, disappointed by the information Pepper have been pushing? That information we easily can gather. He can, of course, ask many questions and get the answers either through the tablet or through verbal answers provided to the robot. So that's all that data that the robot can gather is extremely useful information that will be retrieved and passed to the retailers. I will mention later on how they analyze that. Another issue that brick and mortar shops are facing today is, again, the fact that e-commerce are able, when you go back to Amazon, immediately Amazon recommend you the product based on your customer profile and customer history. That things that retailers cannot do today in their shop is too complex. And that's, again, where a humanoid robot like Pepper will be adding value. It's basically, as Pepper is connected online, if you identify yourself to the robot using maybe your loyalty card, you will scan your QR code or your barcode or your RFID card to the robot. He will know, hello, Nicolas, nice to see you again. How is that tennis racket you did purchase last week? Are you happy with it or not? So, he has instantly access to my profile, my history, and then he will be able to tell me, for example, by the way, do you know we have a special offer on tennis ball today? So do personalized product recommendation exactly the same way e-commerce site do it. But the thing is, he can do that in shop, and that's adding a lot of value to shops. Pepper? Yeah. So basically, we think that with robots, what we're doing is we're just transforming selling from what is supposed to be an art to science, really. With Pepper, as I was saying, we're collecting data about the people who are just passing by. We can then wave them, attract them. We can service people, and we can help to, make them to buy products. And we do that, collecting data all along the process. That's key. And as I said before, the value also is because Pepper is connected to the cloud. He can, on the fly, adapt and improve the sales pitch on a product. He will see that even if he doesn't identify you, but at that period of the time, he has more, women of 30 to 35 years passing in front of him. So then he will automatically be able to analyze that, adapt his sales pitch to that specific target, and that's extremely useful value for retailers. So yeah, basically, the Pepper can, provide multiple service to push sales and to collect data. He can, maybe I can show you that. I can make a brief demo of Pepper si tu veux retourner le haut-parleur. Yeah. He's able to help you in finding direction or products, and let's try to interact with Pepper quickly. So, hello? Hello?
Hello.
I don't know if can you hear it? Oh, it's mute maybe. That will be better like that. Yeah, thanks a lot. Pepper?
How can I help you?
Pepper, I'm lost.
Human?
I'm lost.
Let me find my map.
What I'm going to do here with Pepper,
I am here to help you. What kind of product are you looking for?
I'm looking for a coffee machine.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
A coffee machine?
A coffee machine.
That's right.
Super. Just walk in this direction and turn right at the end of this way. Then you will see coffee machines everywhere. Do you need anything else?
No, Pepper.
Okay, then have a great day.
Okay. So that, an example of services you can provide, you will be able to, you enter an hypermarket, you enter a mall, you're looking for a specific product, for a specific service, Pepper can show you the direction. Uh, then,
Of course.
no. We'll do that later, Pepper. He want to dance. He like to dance, but we'll do the dance later, okay? So, it will be the channel to provide, all the frequently asked question. As it's something that we're going to do soon in Germany. As you may know that we have a pilot with a company called Alda Cruise. Pepper will be on their ship to welcome customer, answer all the FAQs, things like that. So he could be a greeter, he will be a greeter, a queue manager, provide information on the product, and be an entertainer. And he love to do that, and he does that well, really. So I think we really can see Pepper as a new channel, and a channel that bridge the gap between the online business and the brick and mortar activities. Today in physical shops, where people are really good at being proactive and advising customers, but they are bad at collecting data. Online or e-commerce sort are pretty good at collecting data, but really poor at providing, being proactively attracting the customer. Pepper is basically making the bridge between all of that. He's proactively calling people, asking people to come, providing advice, and he's really good also at collecting systematically data. I want to share again that this is not science fiction. That exists today. We have today daily over 3,000 robots in store serving customers. Mostly in Japan, because up to now it has been only available in Japan. We started some pilot project in Europe. That's why you will see names like Carrefour or the French Railway or the Costa company. But robot is in a daily use today. It's efficient, and I will just share with you, 3 use cases, as I did say before. The first use case I like to share is what Pepper does in SoftBank mobile store. He's doing he's attracting customers, greeting them, doing product promotion. He does a bit of queue management, and of course, he's entertaining people. So today, over 1,400 stores of SoftBank are using robot, more than the robot, because that's around 2,500 robots in use, to welcome people, greet them. And what is interesting to see is in the last 12 months, we have at SoftBank measured a 21% traffic increase in their shop. That's a tremendous achievement for them in such a competitive market. Another example, as I quickly mentioned before, is Nestle. Nestle, in over 200 stores, they're using the product alone. There is no human to assist the robot. The robot is alone, and is doing the coffee machine sales. He's asking question, you drink coffee, how many coffee you drink a day? Do you go to Starbucks? Do you know that if you buy a coffee machine, you will be saving $50 a day or a month? He's serving more than 100 customers autonomously every day. And he's a good sales guy, doing that repetitive sales pitch. He's doing an excellent job, Pepper, in Nestle Dolce Gusto point of sales. The last use case I like to share with you is Carrefour. We are running a pilot project, and the phase 1 of a pilot project in Carrefour. They have 35 robots in 5 hypermarkets, and which means 7 robots per hypermarket, and each robot has a specific use case or task. So they have a robot to welcome customer, run the loyalty program enrollment, do their bank card promotion. They have robots which are more for entertainment, for social network communication. You take a picture, you post it on your social network. But of course also, because that's Carrefour and that's in France, you have a robot that sells wine. So he's doing wine recommendation. We have a Pepper sommelier there that tell you, are we going to do some meat, some fish? Do you prefer white wine, red wine? Do you like Bordeaux or Bourgogne? And he's going to push you the right bottle. He does also, recommendation, and he's pushing the sales of vegetables. He has recipes, and he will suggest various recipes, what you can do with, aubergine or tomatoes or things like that. He's also selling comics books. He's telling you about the latest comics books that are on the market. And the last robot they have is a robot that does, at the end of a customer journey, you have a robot that do a customer satisfaction survey. Out of 30 questions that are predefined, the robot is randomly picking up 3 questions. One is about the experience with the robot, but the other one will be how do you find the new fruit and vegetable department in the store? Do you like it or don't you like it? So, and that's it really about what I wanted to share with you with what we do today with Pepper and what is the value of humanoid robot today in a specific retail environment. What I want to say is that's not the only use we have for Pepper. Really a robot like Pepper, a humanoid robot, makes sense in any place where you have public, any place where you want to push information about services, product to the public, as well as where you want to gather data, retrieve information from the public. A platform like Pepper is really the platform that will bring you the best results because of its humanoid shape, because of the fact that, it's engaging people with interaction. So, I don't know if you have any question. I think you wanted to interact maybe with Pepper. And
Maybe first of all, are there questions in the audience? Come up. Maybe you want to get up so he can see.
No, for him.
for me?
No, for you.
Yeah.
Have you become angry with the Pepper anytime?
Are we going to become angry with the Pepper?
Anytime, have you become angry?
I mean, peoples or the robots?
You.
Why?
You.
I mean, not more than with a human, Yeah, sometimes when he doesn't want to do what I would like him to do, or he doesn't answer what I will expect, I'm surprised and I may become angry, possibly. Like, when you're dealing with with real human, sometimes you don't like the reactions. So, that may happen with Pepper, but it's just so nice that it's programmed, to really create positive emotion with people. So, you rarely become angry with the robots, As you may have seen, he's happy to, shake hands and to give you hugs. So it's really, a positive attitude robot.
Have you seen that short little movie on the internet? And it was on Facebook all over, where this dude kicks the four-legged dog-like robot.
Yeah.
And it kind of stumbles and then gets up again. And people got really angry with that dude because he kicked the robot, the sweet, tiny little robot.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a guy saying it's because if you make them look ugly, people will kick them. If you make them look like that with a tiny sweet face, you'd never actually kick them.
Yeah, I think that's the design of a robot, the shape of a robot is key in the interaction. That's why we went for humanoid robot. But at the same time, we need to be careful, because there are some projects, Japanese projects, trying to do robots that really are like human, with latex skin and things like that. And we know, because there are some scientific studies, that doesn't work. A robot that is too close to a human is scaring people. So we strongly believe that a robot needs to be attractive, nice looking, but it needs to look like a robot. You need always to know that you are dealing with a machine, and that's important, and that works well. People know they are dealing with a robot when we deal with Pepper or now, but they like to do it because of the human shape. But knowing it's a machine, they also know that they can control it, and they can, if they want to stop the interaction with the robot, they just can leave. They know they're not going to offend the robot. So, and that works. They're so keen to talk to him because they know that's going to be funny, interesting, and when they want to end it, they end it. That's all.
How did you actually manage to get the right size and the right face? How did you find out that people would like that size best?
We start working on robot about 11 years ago, and we'll always work closely with scientifics in terms of dealing with human-machine interaction, and we have our own expertise. And what we know, for example, it was key to do a robot smaller than the majority of the people. If we have another one that is a little bit taller, and we know that having a robot smaller, you feel comfortable. It works well in the interaction. Again, that's a machine you will be able to control. There are other people doing robots that are taller, and I've seen them, and believe me, when you look at a robot like that, you start to be a bit afraid, what is going to happen to me? So that's key. Something, for the for the shape and the face, as it was really designed first to go for the Japanese market, we try to make it acceptable by Japanese customer. That's why he has certainly bigger eyes than what we'll have done specifically for the European market. But I mean, I guess it's nice anyway, no?
What's going to be the biggest challenge, like in the next 2 to 3 years, with human-robot interaction?
I mean, it's really having more artificial intelligence implemented on the robot, and that's why we're looking for partners and finding partners such as we announced a partnership with IBM Watson. IBM Watson is going to provide some artificial intelligence coming on the robot. So they have a nice cognitive database, and for example, today, when we deal with the robot, most of the dialogue is scripted, and we know that one of the challenges is to be able to freely talk to a robot. It's to have what we call a natural language processing that will allow to have really a stronger experience with the robot, to provide better services with the robot. So I think the challenge is here, is take more artificial intelligence on the robot just to continue to improve the service provided by the robot and the interaction with the robot.
Is there more questions in the audience?
I think Mr. wanted to ask a...
I have a question for the brain.
Yeah?
So as far as I know, Pepper has a brain in his body, her body, right? But do you have a plan to have cloud-based brain like Watson
Okay.
API?
That's a bit what I was saying before. Yes, we're working with the Watson. I mean, Pepper is connected, and we are starting to work with Watson to connect through the cloud to their cognitive database, and then provide more brain to the robot, more artificial intelligence to the robot. Yes, that's correct.
I have another question about us humans. Do we actually need to learn to interact with robots, or is that pretty intuitive to us?
It has to be intuitive, and it is intuitive, and that's why, again, humanoid shape make it easier, because you will just behave when you interact with Pepper as you will behave with me. I mean, that's the all the idea and the concept, really. It's you don't have to learn anything. You come, you talk to the robot, he answers to what you say, and we just today, use the tablet to robustify all of that, and to be able to provide you more information, as well as make sure that at CeBIT today, it might be a bit of a noisy environment, so sometimes talking to the robot make it a bit complex. So we use the tablet to robustify that, to be sure that the interaction is successful until the end.
Do people mainly expect Pepper to be emotional, or is it just this, like the computer? You expect information handed to you in a good way, or do they actually expect him to be funny, sweet?
I think because of the shape of the robot and the humanoid shape, they expect him to be as close as possible to the human. So yes, they expect a bit of emotion because they have empathy with the robot. They expect the robot to have some empathy for them, and that's really how it works. You come here, and if somebody is going to hurt the robot or push the robot, many people will say, "Don't do that," and they will come and they will have empathy for the robot, and they value the fact that, because we develop that, the robot is able to understand their mood and show some empathy for them the same way.
I really all the time like pretty much when Siri on the iPhone is answering in a funny way. So obviously people like robots and algorithms to be human in a way. What's going to be the next big step, like in the development of humanoid robots?
I think they're,
Because a lot of people are afraid that we're going to use this for war machines or do something bad with it. Is that going to be like the big driver of development, or is it which industry is next going for robots? I mean,
for sure at SoftBank, at Aldebaran, that's not our vision. That's not the direction we want to take. We're really working on social robot with emotions. I would just answer for us. And for us, really, it's more to continue into that direction. It's certainly to enhance, as I say, the artificial intelligence side. It's certainly to make the robot capable to freely navigate and move anywhere, which is a bit complex today. And certainly also, work on the grasping manipulation capabilities of the robot that will again enhance the service the robot could provide to you. So that's the big next steps really for us. Artificial intelligence, moving around and being able to carry objects and move objects.
Can Pepper shake hands?
He can shake hands. I don't know if he will be able to do it now, because he
Pepper, I
seems to
want
be,
to shake hands.
he seems to
Do,
be
do I have to come up?
I think it doesn't want to work now. Pepper? Yeah, he becomes quiet. I've been talking too much. What I will suggest is
It's kind of like a kid. You've been talking too much. I kind of shut down.
I kind of
now.
shut down. But we're just here on the loft, so I mean, just come to see us, and you will be able to discuss with Pepper, shake hands, and even give him a hug. He likes to give hugs to people, so I mean, yeah.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. Thank
Thanks
you
a
very
lot.
much, Pepper. Give him a warm hand. That was a beautiful presentation. Make sure you visit Pepper just outside. And as far as I know, Pepper is not so funny yet. So if I could ask for something, I would love robots to be more funny in a way, have fun answers.
Yeah, okay, we'll work on that. We make it already, I think, funny, but we can make it even more funny, I'm sure of that. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.